So, good morning, dear friends. Today, again, I am going to talk about Rag Darbari, uh, which is written by Shilal Shukla. And it is very interesting to know that Shilal Shukla was a civil servant. He was born in Lucknow and he was graduated from University of Allahabad. After graduation, he was selected into UPPCS, and later on he was promoted to an IAS, to the cadre of IAS. So when he wrote this novel, when he wrote about the politics and social condition in villages, he had a first-hand knowledge of the vagaries of administrative lapses, okay, and about the people of the villages, about the politics of the village, and about the social condition of the village. This novel, which was published in 1969, earned Sahitya Academy Award in 1970. And this novel portrays power struggle in rural village of Lucknow, near Lucknow. It might be a village in Raebareli also, because he was posted in Raebareli and born in Lucknow. So he had very acute knowledge of this province of Awadh, okay, about the people, about their culture, about their social status, okay. And more than that, when he was an SDM, he had a first-hand experience of the working of the administration, okay. And this is very important. That's why he so successfully is able to uh, give you the details of all the vagaries of administrative function and the condition of common man. Now, the title is very significant. It's Rag Darbari. Do you know what is Rag Darbari? Anyone? Rag Darbari is one of a very popular raga in Sangeet, in music, in Indian music. Okay, it's a difficult raga, and to attain mastery of this rag, one has to be very, very well practiced person. Okay, रियाज बहुत रियाज करना पड़ता है उसके लिए. But here, this Rag Darbari is about the courts of small and big people who are power centers at various levels. Now, how these power centers are maintained through ragas of people who are around there, who are expert in buttering, expert in influencing people. Okay, so this is a literal meaning of Rag Darbari, which Shilal Shukla has taken. And in the canon of Hindi literature, in the standardization of Hindi novels, this novel comes next to only Godan and Maila Aanchal. And what is interesting about all three novels is that all these novels have village as center of every happening. Okay, but there are different treatments. While in Godan by Premchand, which was published in 1936, it was about the condition of an Indian farmer. No? It is called an epic tragedy of an Indian farmer. In Maila Aanchal, again, though farmer is not in center, but village life is in center, and how the values and ideals of Gandhism is shattered by our own people. All right, and in Rag Darbari, how this values and ideals which Gandhi envisioned in his Hind Swaraj, ना पंचायतों का जो स्वरूप उन्होंने सोचा था ना, so that is how this the form of panchayat has been mocked by small power centers, small kings, local people who are all powerful. And that's why this novel is very significant, because it satirizes the existing system, not only the political system, the administrative system, the social system, the entire system in the post colonial India. What Rag Darbari is at pains to show that even after independence, though the white people returned to their nation, yet the functioning of the machinery of exploitation has become more and more subtle and is being used by our own people. They are our new masters who are trying to colonize our mind. So, this absolute description of village politics is actually a microcosm, no? Showing the politics of Indian state at the time. It's a micro reality of that macro level politics. Okay, and most importantly, Shilal Shukla deals with factionalism, how society is divided into several factions, castes, how upper caste Brahmin of the village is controlling each and everything, how castes, despite the fact that our freedom fighters, our big leaders were at pains to eradicate this caste division, no? To make people equal, still after around 20 years of independence, situation is the same. The casteism is still defining our society, not just in 1960, still in 2020. Casteism is still a very, very burning and relevant issue. And nepotism means bhai batijawad. How nepotism is still, or you can say rather more prominently, finding its a part of machinery nowadays. However, because of the social media, because of the several, you can say because people are more aware, so nepotism is actually working, still working, but not so openly. And again, how the behind the scenes manipulations, no? What we call in Hindi peeth piche. So behind the scenes manipulation of the politics of this small village, the name of the village is Shivgopal Ganj. Okay. So in this Shivgopal Ganj, what we find, whatever is happening, is it clear now? Whatever is happening in Shivgopal Ganj is actually giving us a hint of the national politics. Okay, so Shivgopal Ganj, that is why I call it a microcosm. Okay,
ये वाला
this is
दीपक
what I was telling you how
ये देखिए
this
ये भी था हाँ मैं ध्यान ही नहीं था मैंने याद किया
manipulations, how these things are deeply
ये वाला
ingrained in
बेकार है
our
इसको दे देंगे इन सबको
huh? And that is not just about Shivgopal Ganj, but even the larger politics. And we find that from top to bottom, the melody of the court, okay, court of the power centers, small power, big power. It depends upon the place, whether at the village or even at the national level. These melodies epicenter of power, yeah? Or you can say his whole power center. He is using all the tactics to control the village. Yeah? All these tactics which have been used by our colonial masters. For example, if what we say in Sanskrit, Sama, Dama, Danda, Bhed, alright, he is using each and everything, Sam, Dama, and Bhed. If somebody is can sell himself, he will buy. If somebody is not able to sell himself, he will make him make certain situation, create certain situation, or he will raise an opponent, okay, so that that person is not able to fight him. Danda, he can also punish people indirectly. He has a wrestler son, Badri Pahalwan, no? And Badri Pahalwan is not the only Pahalwan, the only wrestler. He has his chelas, several chelas, Chote Pahalwan, no? Chote wrestler. He wrestles even with his father. No? So, and Ruppan Babu, his second son. No? Ruppan is a student leader who is studying in that school from years and years. He never passed. So these sons of Vaidji and other people who are his chelas, they are also being used for danda. Okay. Sam, dam, danda, either from affection and love, showing fast affection and love, or by buying people, bribing people, or by
यार ये लिखा है कि 9 months
threatening,
24
threat,
अच्छा 24
or by bribing people. Anything he can use to make himself powerful. And for what? What were those things which he wanted to control? In those days, there were at least 2 or 3 important institutions. One was Bombay, another was schools, of the school of which he was a manager, and third thing was the village panchayat, Gram Pradhan. So, in all these 3, by the end of the novel, we find that slowly he controlled each and every thing. He won the cooperative election by hook or by crook. As far as the school was concerned, the principal belonged to his, you can say, court. Jita Darbari, he was his court. And teacher who was fighting against principal and Vaidji was finally defeated and beaten also. And he had his puppet Pradhan, village chief, become puppet. So, all the 3 important, you can say, institutions were under his control. So the entire story of Shiv Gopal moves around the local panoptic Raja. What is panoptic? Panoptic means a kind of jail which is circular in shape, and the jailer is sitting in the center, and he has eyes on each and everything. Means he can watch each and everything, so that he can control each and everything. This panoptic vision, gaze of Vaidji, nobody is spared from that panoptic gaze.
Pre-Raphaelites.
Who is the political mastermind of the village. He is such a hypocrite person that he talks something, and he is bad guy, real bad guy.
सीमा पे अपना वेट नापे उतना ही है हाँ।
Apart from his profession, he was powers of the village, and he controls cooperative politics and even the
वो सोचते हैं जुआ में जाएंगे
village council. So, Rag
आप
Darbari
चलिए तो चलिए सीमा के बदले आप चलेंगे
and
जी
the ideals and values which his nephew Ranganath, who was a postgraduate student, an intellectual actually, huh? He was on a sabbatical leave for study and for taking rest, gaining health in the village with good people, innocent people. But actually, the apparent innocence behind the veneer of that innocence, situation is different. People are so clever, so sharp, so subtle, so political, especially his Mamaji, Gandhiji. So he comes to village with an idea of a place which is an ideal place, but his vision of Rangnath shatters very, very soon. And the entire novel is full of satire everywhere. In my previous lecture, I read some of the lines. For example, कि हमारी शिक्षा पद्धति रास्ते में कुतिया के समान है जो कोई उसको लागू नहीं means that our education policy is like a ditch on the road, so anybody can take it. So lots of idioms are there. Lots of every page. You will find some idiom, some satire, which is creating humor and event. So these ironical remarks are not only on politics, it is on social system also. Okay, there are some other idioms in every paragraph. Sometimes you can find, and on one page at least one idiom or big satire. For example, तन पर नहीं पत्ता पान खाए पत्ता, means it's very significant. Even not a leaf to cover the body, but he will show that he's the king and he will chew palm. Beetle, no. Chewing beetle is a symbol of kingly behavior. So, tan par nahi patta, pan khayal patta. The rhythm, see the rhythm of the language in Hindi. And how he is using these idioms so accurately. Means he is a person who has a very acute observation of language of local people as well, not just their behavior. Then, Sala aag khayega to angaar dega. If you eat fire, you will shit embers. But how accurate he is. Then, जिस किसी का दुम उठाकर देखा मादा ही नजर आया. Lift whosoever take all turn out to be females. Means hypocrites. Everyone is hypocrite. Everyone tries to show that he is a manly person, with some ideals, but there is no ideal at all. And again, one more thing, this again reminds me that this novel is actually a male-dominated novel. Society in this novel is male-dominated society. There is a very few mentions of female. For example, one is by a girl to Rangnath, and some momentary episodes. But since the politics is male-dominated and satire has to be made on that politics, so the entire novel is male-dominated, especially at village level, because male characters are more vulnerable for satire as they follow the distorted and vulgar values in politics. So I was talking about some idioms, how they are so, and they are actually kind of, you can say, alankara for the novel. They are enhancing the beauty of the language and the beauty of the novel. ये जंग खोलो तो लाज, ये जान खोलो तो लाज, और वो खोल दो वो लाज. देह में ऐसी जोश की हवा में डंडा मारते हैं और पत्ता भी खड़क जाए तो छिटक कर माँ की गली में देता है, देते थे. So such enthusiasm I had that when I realized it, I was abused even the belief that माँ की गाली दे मीन्स अगर पत्ता भी खड़क जा रहा तो उसको भी माँ की गाली so all these there are various examples in my previous lecture I gave you several examples of these things even some of the abuses related to mother and sister, they are also there. So every page of the book has humor, sometimes dark, and mostly the characters are caricature. They are fit in that, you can say, molding which you wanted to show. For example, you see Garuva is taking driving. You see Uppan Babu. If you have read the story, you will find that every character is fixed up to some limit. Kind characters are there. So, and as I was talking about language, so there was a language which was used by some of the characters, especially one character that is called Sarfari language. If you read the Hindi version, you will find how that character is using sir and for with every word. So this is very interesting. The Sarfari Boli is the dialect which is fictional actually. But this is how ARF is inserted everywhere. For example, Harfai and Safarla, Sala ko Sarfarla. So this is how he is twisting language also. A very good example of experimenting with language. Long before Salman Rushdie in English made such experimentation with language. Shila should make this experimentation. This kind of talent actually. So, and very important thing is that when we were talking about politics, all of you belong to villages, I know, I hope. And if you are aware of the village politics, you know there are 3 ways of winning an election. These are 3 instructive tricks to winning an election, which is very much, which is part of this novel. Very important part of this novel. One is the Ramnagar trick, the Nevada trick, and the Mahipalpur trick. These tricks are named after the villages. And what are the important things that Ramnagar trick becomes useful when 2 main candidates are from the same caste and command similar respect. So at that time that trick will be used. In Nevada trick, the Brahmin candidate uses the services of Babaji, his ganja and bhang to get the better rising of Shudra. And what is used today? Of course, liquor, wine and other things, and money also. And third trick is the Mahipalpur trick. It started as an accident, but just like Newton found the truth of gravity in an accident, people found this trick to win an election. And what is this scientific method? This is the election commissioner could, on the insistence of one of the candidates, have his watch run fast by an hour. घड़ी कोई घंटा बढ़ा दो. When the favorable candidate is winning, घड़ी को बढ़ा दो. At that time there was no digital time, so the watch of commissioner was considered the ultimate time. Bas, and the second candidate make sure that he will win. So these are the things which are very accurately woven together to make this novel a great success, a grand success. And Vairji, who is a feudal lord, he is using Mahipalpur trick to beat Nevada trick of the opponent. Okay. So this kind of irony and subjects on almost every page, and sometimes we find small romantic episodes, but they are very minor. They are not necessary for the story. So for today, I think it's enough. In my next lecture, I will talk about theme and plotting.